How's everybody doing? Good? Good. It's the fifth Sunday. It's like extra Sunday, you know? It's like a little bonus Sunday, right? Well, thank you for being here and making this your destination for this morning. You have a lot of choices, and thank you for making this your home, because this is my spiritual home. So welcome home again. Let me personally welcome each one of you here. Well, our theme for this month is spiritual living through transformation. And my talk title this morning is The Joy of Living. So, are you joyous? Are you having a good time? How are we doing? We recognize that the law of mind, which is the activity of spirit within us, as supremely governing every activity of our life, if we know it or not, and manifesting into the expression of complete freedom in every area of our life. Do you feel free in every area of your life? Are you in control of your health, of your finances, your relationships, your creative self-expression? Well, you are, if you know it or not. Sometimes we feel controlled by these things, though, don't we? And it's easy it happens. It's what happens in life. Sometimes you're the windshield, and you know the story. Sometimes you're the bug. Well, can we be happy, joyous, and free no matter what our life may look like? Do you know how to make lemonade? Well, it's time to learn, right? Summer's coming. I hear we've had a day so far. I got up this morning and on my skylight there was some condensation, and I thought it had rained again. And I'm like, it's sunny out. I know that it's sunny out, but there was condensation, so I thought that it had rained, and I went and looked outside. Now, okay, it's not rained today. We're okay. So we all want to experience the joy of living, don't we? I mean, that's really why we're here. This is the party planet. Just don't overdo it, right? Moderation, kids. Moderation is the key to any good party, right? Save it for the after party, right? When we feel overwhelmed in the midst of negativity, we might call out to God and say, God, fix this. Fix this thing, please. Who is this God that we're asking to fix things for us? What is it? Is it out there somewhere? Or is it actually, bless you, within you? You're actually calling to help yourself. We are our own Savior. You are the only one that's coming for you. If you're waiting for some white horse to come in and sweep you off your feet, it can happen. It can happen, but don't hold your breath. It has happened. It does happen. But create your own white horse. Create your own exit strategy and new entrance strategy. You know, if you don't like the job you have, write yourself a pink slip and write yourself a green slip somewhere else, right? Don't be locked into something that might be taking you in a direction that you don't want to go. And this is just to notice where you are. So, in Science of Mind, our faith tradition, God is divine source energy, and you get to make it up. We don't tell you what God is. We can tell you the aspects of what the infinite might mean. The creative energy, source energy. Who can look out at the starry sky at night and not know that there is some power, incredible energy going on? How can you stand on the beach and see the waves crash and not, if you believe you're doing that yourself, well then you're a better man than me, Misty. But we have to know that something is going on for us, and you get to decide what it is for you. God is the source of everything, and I choose to call it God because that works for me. Christ consciousness, knowing that each one of us has that spark of divinity within each one of us, that when activated, when we act the part, when we activate the divinity that we are and we believe it, miracles happen. But if we believe that we are not worthy, or that we're less than, or that we're, when I lose some more weight, when I gain some more weight, when I'm older, when I'm younger, it's now, kids. It's always right now. So claim it. Speak your word with power. This energy is the energy of everything. There is nothing that is not the energy of life. It manifests in us as consciousness. It's when we still, it's when we get quiet and we go within and we take a moment to remember who we are, that the answers rush in. It's not in the doing. It can happen in the doing. And if you're in the midst of something, that may be just exactly what you need to keep your conscious awareness occupied to have a spiritual experience. When I was going through ministerial school, which is a very rigorous experience, it's a master's degree, and I was loving it the first couple of years, and then after the fourth year, it was like, get me out of here. I don't want to do another paper. But of course, that's part of why you're there. And one of my teachers, I was explaining how frustrating some of the classes were because they were not easy. She said, all of this is to keep you busy while you have a spiritual experience. Oh, okay. Well, gosh, I'm having a spiritual experience. So can you say in the midst of your challenge, this too is good. This too is God, and I demand to see the blessing in this. And take a step back. We want to get in there. We want to fix it. I want to make it right. But sometimes the best thing we can do is take a step back and let it go. Let's be real. Life is not always easy. Life is not always joyous. But it's our perspective that makes it one way or the other. Have you ever gotten into your own pity party? Oh boy, I was an expert. I was a pity party planner. I brought the kegger to the pity party. Kegger of pity for 2, for 1. But we have to understand that if we're into that negativity, we draw more of it to us. This is how the law works. But if you're in it, get into it, man. Get into it so you can get it all out of you. Call everybody you know so that they can block you. Because maybe that's what needs to happen, right? Maybe that's what needs to happen for us to have a healing, is that we call out and nobody's there. Because it's when we find ourselves on our knees at 2 a.m. saying, God, what is this? That the answers might come. Sometimes it takes that. I'm not saying that that might be your experience, but it's been mine at times. Life is not always fun. But find someone that you can talk to about it. Call a practitioner, not at 2 a.m. possibly, but if you find yourself at 2 a.m, call somebody. Because it's the connection that we make that allows the divine circuits to flow. In the connecting, the energy moves forward. if we stay in our own heads and repeat the same thing and expect a different result, insanity. But hey, I've been insane. I've been crazy. We've all been crazy. Let's admit it. We've all been just maybe a little. Or you have a friend that you know that is. Dr. Holmes writes in Love and Law, "Have this as your principle. There is one infinite mind from which everything comes. Instead of losing a sense of a personal God, you will actually gain a sense of oneness." How big is that? God isn't out there somewhere. But God is out there somewhere. Because God is everything that is. But when you internalize it and make it you, not I'm God, but every cell of your being is part of the God experience, you activate the divinity that you are, and the miracles are right there. That's where the healing is. This is where you call for a healing. You call for something to be fixed, something to be different. And if you believe that it's out there, you're always chasing it like the carrot on the stick. It's always just out of reach. But when you say, you know what, the healing is within me right now. When you believe that, when you truly believe that you are the healing energy, watch what happens. Watch what happens. All of a sudden, the connection is made. The right molecules go to the right places within your body, and a healing miraculously happens because we changed our mind. We changed our mind. Every act in life is normal. Get over any idea of attempting to be being abnormal. We're all abnormal. There is no normal. What is normal? Normal is knowing that there is a way. And it may be a little crazy. A thought may come to you that's a little out of the regular thought. Now, as long as it doesn't harm you or somebody else, just be open to a new train of thought. Because it's through new trains of thought that new ideas rush through. Don't limit this thing. Grow big inside it. Get over the little thoughts, the little concepts, and comprehend more. Can you comprehend more? What is better than the best? What is your dream? And maybe you're living it. What's your next dream then? Because we have to have something that keeps us rolling, that keeps us going. What if you were to take our challenges and look at them in another way? What if we attracted them to make our beliefs stronger? What if the things that are challenging us in our life are exactly what we need to move us into the next greatest yet to be? You know, I used to believe that if I was going to change, that I needed a 2x4 to hit me upside the head. Because that's how it happened. That's how I woke up to this teaching. It was a 2x4. I mean, literally, that it felt like, metaphysically, in my life. But when I looked back at what happened, it was exactly the way it needed to happen for my ultimate healing. But now I pray for little butterfly kisses instead of 2x4s, right? I mean, it doesn't have to happen through challenge. But if challenge is the only way it's going to get your attention, it will be challenging. That's why we don't want to stay fixed. We want to leave ourselves open at the top. This is an open at the top teaching. Or as my dad says, leave the window open an inch for a new idea to blow in. Because if you close the window on something, if you damn something, You ever dam something? Damn it. You damn it. It means you build a dam and you block the energy of it. And sometimes you want to do that with certain stuff. But you know, when something happens to me, instead of saying that, I say, God bless it. How quickly can you shift your energy? And that's what this is all about, is being able to pivot on a dime. Now, let's face it, when something happens in our lives, to say, oh, I don't feel anything, I'm just going to pivot on a dime and it's all good. Woe is me. I want to go to a workshop. I want to read a book. I want to go on the internet and see what happened to me. I want to figure it out. Because that's the process of healing. Sometimes healing is a process. Even when it's instantaneous, we want to figure out what happened to us. We want to research what happened. We want to know. But do we have to know, really? I just want the miracle. I just want to move from mountaintop to mountaintop, miracle to miracle. Right? Don't we? But sometimes we get lagged down in the valley of the shadow of death, where I shall fear no evil, for thine is with me. My rod and my staff, they comfort me. My rod and my staff, my knowledge. My rod and my staff are my reading, my meditating, my praying. They arm me with knowledge. Because when you have knowledge, you're prepared for anything. Tests are easy when you know the answers, right? You ever fear a test? We all have. But when you know the answers, you're like, bring it on. Bring it on. I know the answers to that. If I don't, I want to learn what it is. See the difference in energy? And you're like, oh, I don't want to go to that test. Or, yeah, bring that test on. I can do that and so much more. It's a subtle shift in energy. Dr. Holmes writes, when we make a demonstration, we must make up our mind that we will accept everything that comes with it. Law pays in full and sometimes with a universal plus. We have to take everything. You know, you want a nice car? Demonstrate the ability to care for it. You know, how much do wheels cost for that new car? You know, how much is a tune-up? Oh, wow, I didn't think about that. You've got to be able to maintain these things in consciousness. You want a new relationship? Well, you're really willing to give up the one you have with yourself. Sometimes that's what it takes. You know, we are interesting creatures. I want so much to change, but don't change a thing in my life. I want everything to be different, but don't make anything change. I hate change, but I want things to be totally different. It's like, okay, you're sending a weird, message to the universe saying, I want a new relationship. And I have a happiness as being single bumper sticker on my car. What are you telling the universe? Well, relationships haven't worked out for me. Well, do you want them to? Pretend as though it's already so. Act as though it's already so. That's where the energy is. If we keep thinking, it's not going to work out for me, what do you think the universe is going to demonstrate for you? Well, it's not working out for me. But if we believe with our heart of hearts that there is a way will be made manifest for you. It's the law. So this might look for treating for the most perfect, soul-satisfying, well-paying position and believe we can have it, and then getting fired from the one we have. Ooh. My minister many years ago, I had lost a great job. And I was really upset about it. I was in tears. And I went to them and I said, this is what happened to me. And she said, congratulations. I was like, you're my minister. How are you congratulating me on a terrible thing that's happened in my life? She goes, because I know you have the consciousness to create something new, and that's why this is happening. She was already there in consciousness that I had a new job. And she was holding that space for me. And it wasn't long till I demonstrated something new because I got it. When you go to a friend and you go, I lost my job, they're like, oh, that's terrible. Oh, God, I lost a job once and it hurt me so bad. I never got over it. What are they playing into your field of energy that you may never get over it? Right? But sometimes we want somebody to, join the pity party with us. But if we surround ourselves with other people, and this isn't to say anything about our loving friends that call us to share their ideas, but we have to stand in the doorway of your consciousness and say, that's not for me. That's not mine. I choose to know that I am the energy of God made manifest, and that beautiful, wonderful things come into my life. And sometimes they appear as ugly, hurtful, challenging situations that I get to transform. Because life is still being life, but I've changed my MO. I've changed the energy zone around me. I don't play in the pity party arena anymore. It was fun. It was fun for a while. But after a while, you get to a point where you need people that love you to support you and say, I know you can do this. I don't care what's happened before, but there is a way. Here's some high metaphysics. The things you want in your life can't come in because the things you don't want are taking their place. Ouch. But I like the things I have in my life. But I want something else, something greater. And are you willing to let go of the things that are no longer serving you, that can be recycled? But I'm still using them to a certain degree. Can you cut the ties that are binding you to a challenging situation? Something may be screaming out and arguing for your lack and limitation. And this is what lack and limitation will do. Everything unlike what you are treating for will come up to rear its head to show you, to see if you're really serious. Are you serious about this? And only you can know. So we can look at the experience as the way we want to, and we can complain about our fate and worry about it. Or we can look to the next greatest yet to be. The choice is ours. So we don't need to push it just to be joyous in consciousness. We just need to get clear. What do you want? Most of us have the biggest challenge is deciding. We can't decide. So we send these mixed messages to the universe and we go, God, decide for me. And God says, if you would just decide, I would bring it to you. We have to make a decision. And once you make a decision, the power in making a decision is, you can always change your decision, but make a decision. Move towards what you think you want. Act as though it is already so. So in conclusion, to experience the joy of living, we have to become clear about what God is to us. Recognize that every experience is for our highest good and trust the law. Fake it till you make it. It's okay to fake it till you make it because there will come a time that you make it. But we must be in the energy of what we want, in the solution, not in the challenge. Energy flows where our attention goes. And your part is to see if you are part of the challenge or are you part of the solution. Just check in. This isn't to judge. This is to see where you are so you can change where you are. So I invite you to live in the solution of the joy of your life. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's take a second and follow our teaching, and let's go within and treat. So I just invite you to bring to the forefront of your conscious awareness what you believe the power of Source, God, Christ energy is for you. Source energy, the power of creation, is part of who and what each one of us is. And as such, we get to choose the joy of life. What brings you joy? Play there. Be within your joy. Remember who you are. I may not know your situation, but I know the infinite does. And I know as we align ourselves with the miraculous energy of the creative power of the universe, miracles happen. I speak a word of prayer for anyone anywhere who has asked for prayer, who has written it or typed it or spoke it, perhaps just in the subconscious regions of our mind said, help me. I know that the energy of life has already rushed in and is present right here and right now. Being that power, making that connection, healing, revealing, and knowing the highest and best in all situations. God has a wonderful experience waiting for each one of us, truckloads of them. And as we know this, they are revealed to us. They are brought to us. They are right here and right now accessible. And as we believe that, healing happens. So we are grateful. Thank you, divine, loving energy of all creation, for allowing us the time, space, and place to remember who we are within this power. I accept all the blessings, all the healings, all the revealings of truth, as the connections are now made, as the healing has now happened, as the truth is now known. So I let go. I let go of this word, placing these words directly into the law of mind, where they are acted upon in a way that makes sense and are identifiable to each one of us, in a way that we bring them into our lives and share them with the world in a way that uplifts this consciousness that we are, that attracts love, peace, and blessings into each one of our lives. And for this, we are so grateful. So we let go, letting God be God in our lives, as together we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.